Okay, normal operation is going to be your main on and off switches here. So this is on. You'll get a main fault fan just for a second, then it'll go away. If that's off, you're good to go. So you'll use these two buttons here, start and stop. E-stop is only for an emergency. So we'll start this and then we'll test the emergency shutdown to prove that this is going to shut the system down if it senses a spark. So we'll start this, and then I'll run through this test. Testing shutdown right now. So that's if it senses a spark, that's how quick it'll shut down immediately. So if there's ever any alarms on this, you can come in here, Zach. You'll click acknowledge and then clear. And then, so that's telling, yes, I know that there's been an alarm. I'm clearing it. So my next test, I'll show that the alarm relay works. So we'll go test, next. So this is the horn, execute. So that's what will happen if it does sense a spark. The next test we're going to do is we're going to test the spray nozzle. Here it goes, execute. Flow sensor checks. It says flow after, gives a reading, so everything's working there. We'll clear that. So the next test is going to be the detectors. So as soon as you click test, we'll click execute because it's on detector 1 right off the bat. That passes. We'll go next. Detector 2, execute. That passes. This is just a check you can do every month if you want, so that you can check to see if there's anything wrong with the system. Or you can do like most people do and never check it, but I do recommend at least once a month so you know that everything's working properly. If either of these boxes, this one or this one, lose power to the box, that'll be no power at all, but this has battery backup, but it'll start beeping on you to let you know that it doesn't have power. Either of them without power won't allow this to turn on. They are wired into the interlock of this system. So you never have to worry if these are going to keep the system, allow the system to run if they're off. So all of this checks out. If that ever turns red, this won't work either, which means that that red box outside has slammed closed from a back pressure slight explosion. So everything else has been tested. Start and stop basically is all you have to do. We'll test the abort gate now. That is the last test because it is pretty abrupt. So we'll go test, next, until we get to abort. So test abort. You want to walk out there, Zach? Execute. That lets go of the electromagnet, and now it is redirecting the air away. We have a bungee here so that it doesn't fling this chain all the way. So now if we want to reset it, it takes a couple tries because we are recharging an electromagnet. But eventually it'll hold. We're just trying to recharge it's a low voltage electromagnet, so it takes a minute for it to recharge. There it goes. So now it stays. Now that's sending the air back in. So all of this occurred in service mode. So if you open this up, you'll have a key to lock this, and you guys can keep that in your office. But this is normal operation, does not give you access to all of those things I just showed you. So we'll leave it on normal services for people like us who are going to test things, or you guys once a month. So normal operation, it will still function in service or normal mode, but service gives you access to more of the parameters to test. So in normal mode, it won't say service or anything on this screen. It'll just have the date and time, and that's it. If there's ever a power outage to this box, that abort gate will let go outside because it's just an electromagnet that's holding it. So it's a fail-safe. Anytime you lose power, it's going to drop. So if you ever lose power during the night, you do have to go out and reset that chain pull to get that to stay. This is the main motor outside. On the back plate here, it shows you what lubrication to use and how often. It's every 2,000 hours and how much. So 65 grams and 30 grams. That will go in conjunction. You can take this cover off with these bolts, and it'll go with these pillow block bearings that are underneath here too. There's grease points on that. If you have to tighten the belt, you can do that at the same time. And you'll take off these cover bolts, pull that cover off, that gives you access to the belts, and then you'll loosen up your motor bolts that are on a sliding holes here. You'll loosen up these bolts, and then you'll tighten or loosen these depending on which direction you want to go, and then that's going to put tension on your belt. Okay, so I took off these 3 T-handle screws, bolts. Here's your filters. When you're inspecting this, you're just going to want to make sure that these aren't packed full, which you can tell they're not. And you'll inspect the floor in here and just see if you've got a big accumulation of dust. Like if there's a 1/2 inch of dust in here, then you know you have a filter leaking or disconnected. But these are just snap rings, so you push in. See if I can show you here. You push in this direction, and it just snaps open, and then you just kind of fold it back into place, and it will snap back into the lip that it has. Give it a tug so you know it's seated. Grease point, it's right there. And that'll be the only grease point on this because it's a sealed gearbox that doesn't need anything.